Hello everyone and thank you for your time. My name is Ewelina Reguła and together with my colleague Robert Błoneczko we'll briefly discuss the regulations concerning nicotine pouches and electronic cigarettes in Poland. So the Polish nicotine market is changing very quickly with new regulations introduced in a relatively short time. Until recently, nicotine pouches were not specifically regulated, but this changed in 2025 when the tobacco law was amended and for the first time set out specific rules for this type of product. At the same time, existing regulations for e-cigarettes were extended to cover also non-nicotine products. As a result, both nicotine pouches and electronic cigarettes are now subject to similar restrictions. They cannot be sold to minors, the sales are banned in certain places, such as schools and healthcare facilities. Online sales are also prohibited. There is also a ban on advertising and promotion. In addition, companies need to inform the authorities in advance before introducing new products to the market and follow basic rules on composition, packaging and nicotine levels. At the same time, further changes are already being discussed. A new amendment is currently in progress, which may introduce a ban on disposable e-cigarettes, mainly for health and environmental reasons. There are also plans to limit flavors in nicotine pouches to tobacco flavor only, to make them less attractive, especially to young people. The final shape of the regulations is not yet known. There is no full agreement within the government on these changes, with some concerns raised about the economic impact and the risk of growing grey market. So finally, looking at the broader picture, we can also see increased enforcement in practice. Authorities are carrying out more inspections and paying closer attention to whether the rules are followed. So overall, the direction in Poland is quite clear. We are moving towards stricter regulations of the nicotine market.
Turning to the tax environment affecting the nicotine market, the Polish nicotine industry is currently facing one of the largest excise duty reforms in recent years. These changes fundamentally reshape the fiscal landscape, in particular for electronic cigarettes and other nicotine products such as nicotine pouches. Among the changes introduced in 2025 were the revision of the so-called excise duty roadmap, which provides for significant increases in excise duty on selected products, such as e-cigarette liquids. Moreover, excise duty regime has been extended to vaping devices, as well as sets of parts for vaporizers. Excise duty rate for this type of goods has been set at 40 zloty per device. Poland has thereby become one of very few countries worldwide and the only EU member state to impose excise duty on vaping devices as such. As of 2025, excise duty also covers nicotine pouches, as well as other nicotine products such as nicotine gums and aerosols. Despite these far-reaching changes, Polish Ministry of Finance is moving forward and first and foremost is willing to impose a 40 zloty excise duty on reusable electronic cigarette tanks and cartridges, regardless of the technology used or whether they contain a heating element or liquid. So it appears that Ministry of Finance is treating the Polish nicotine market as a testing ground for excise duty regulations. Consequently, the excise duty changes that have been implemented, as well as those currently being proposed, present a challenge for nicotine market players in Poland.